What's good, y'all? It's your boy Blair Waters. I'm back with some new DC stuff to talk about. So Matt Reeves was on the Emmy red carpet and he gave us some updates about Batman Part 2. First thing to get knocked out the way, Matt Reeves said that Kristen Militoli, I think I'm saying her name right, the actress that played Sophia in Penguin isn't going to be there for Part 2 for Batman. Reason being, the story is already too fleshed out and too far ahead to include her in it, so I liked her in Penguin. I didn't really see a point of needing her back for Batman Part 2. Furthermore, to get into stuff that I really want to talk about, DCU and Elseworlds. I got a lot to unpack here. Based off this clip that I'm going to show you, Matt Reeves reiterated how this Batman Part 2 is DC Elseworlds, but it's still part of the DC brand.
It's Elseworld, but it's DC, so it's theirs as well. So, but it's what the future brings, and what I am doing will be clear when it comes.
Me personally, I think this is a bad idea. Just to add a disclaimer, whether we have one Batman or two Batmans, I'm going to watch it regardless. That's me. I would much rather prefer Robert Pattinson be the DCU Batman. But again, I'm not the one writing these movies. I'm not the one head of this stuff. I'm just sharing a personal opinion. Let's move further on with this. But let me explain to you why I think having two Batmen at the same time is a bad idea, and why I think a merge makes sense. Here's reason one. Comic book fans like myself and others, we're going to see superhero movies regardless, right? We're going to go watch DCU Batman and continue to support Matt Reeves' Elseworlds Batman. We love that. Batman fans will be eating, right? Where you run the risk is confusing the general audience. When you have two Batmen, you're going to tire out that general audience. You have to remember, these movies make their money not off of us nerds, but off of the casual fan. The thing about comic book movies and superheroes, there can sometimes be nuance, and there's sometimes this gray area that can confuse people. This Elseworlds DC and this DCU mainline story can definitely cause superhero fatigue. We've been talking about superhero fatigue for the past couple of years now, and I am of the belief that people are tired of bad superhero movies, not necessarily superhero fatigue. However, there's a caveat to that. Marvel's Disney Plus TV shows, some of them were good, some of them were bad. It didn't change the fact that keeping up with these shows felt like homework. The movies were already enough to keep up with. Adding shows to that made it feel like more of a chore than actual entertainment. I fear that Matt Reeves and James Gunn may be doing the same thing with the DCU. I just think when you have two Batman, it starts to change from entertainment to homework. Again, I'm only speaking for the general audience here. And I don't think they're going to stop there. I think there's going to be more Elseworld stories. I think there's going to be more DCU stories. I think there's going to be a fine line split between the two. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll do their job in making people understand that these are two different universes, but I don't think the general audience, the casual movie watcher, is going to even care enough to pay attention. Again, you run the risk of superhero fatigue and turning entertainment into homework. I, for one, don't think the general audience is stupid. I don't think the casual movie watcher is an idiot. No, I don't think that. Even me, a comic book fan, watching the shows with Disney Plus, I kind of grew tired of it. Even though I liked Loki, even though I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, I still grew tired of the fact that this is getting a bit much. What if fans enjoy Robert Pattinson's Batman more than a DCU Batman? Right? You run that risk of them liking that version much more than DCU, and then people say, hey, why didn't you just make Robert Pattinson the DCU Batman? I'm not trying to sound all negative Nancy over here, but I'm just explaining the risk that you run having two separate characters part of this brand at the same time. I'm still hopeful that Robert Pattinson is going to be the DCU Batman, but all the signs point to no. Most of the signs point to it's not happening. I think it's a mistake, me personally. However, I'm still going to go watch the DCU Batman. I'm still going to watch what James Gunn puts together. I am a fan of this stuff. I like this stuff. I'm just saying there needs to be some caution. That's me. That's my opinion. That's just what I think. But I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all like the idea of being two different Batman at the same time? DCU, Elseworlds? Or do you think Robert Pattinson should just be the DCU Batman and make things easier on people? You know what I think, but I want to know what y'all think. If y'all have any comments or opinions, please comment below and let me know what y'all think. Until then, catch y'all later.